Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Live Dive. I hope you're having a great week so far, and I hope you're enjoying the cooler weather out there. It's not real cold, but, it's nice. It feels really nice outside, so I hope you enjoyed that. Before we dive into what we want to talk about today, got a few quick announcements. As always, I want to remind you that Sunday morning is Sunday school at 10 a.m. upstairs in the gym mezzanine. And we have free donuts every week. So that should give you a little bit of motivation to come on out a little bit earlier so you can enjoy a free donut as we talk about, actually this week we'll be talking about Joseph. In fact, that's who I'll be talking about tonight. The other announcement, this Sunday night is our youth night service. So what I really need from you guys, obviously I want you guys involved, but a big thing that Mr. Johnny, our youth pastor, has asked is we need somebody from the bridge to give a testimony. And it doesn't need to be a long drawn-out thing. You can just read your favorite Bible verse and tell us why you like that verse, or you can just talk about what God's done for you lately. But it only needs to be a couple of minutes. It doesn't need to be very long. And if you do it, I will give you a free lunch, okay? Free lunch on me if you agree to stand up and give a testimony. You know our people will love that. Also, one last thing. Sir Henry's Haunted Trail in Plant City. That's what we'll be doing this coming Saturday. We'll be meeting at the church at 5:15 p.m. So we can head out to eat somewhere and hang out for a little bit, and then go to Sir Henry's Haunted Trail. Again, tickets are $25 a person, okay? $25 a piece. Please give me that money by Saturday if you were already planning on coming. If you're still trying to decide if you want to come or not, please let me know by the end of tonight. I'm buying those tickets tonight. It'll be too late tomorrow, so please let me know by the end of tonight. So today, we've been talking about this entire month men of integrity, and we've been talking about Enoch and then some other familiar names like Daniel and Job and Noah. But today we'll be talking about Joseph, the faithful man who saw tomorrow. Now, what I really want to talk about is an essential truth of integrity. There was something that was running through my head this entire month as we've been talking about integrity in Sunday school, and it was a quote by the great C.S. Lewis. And most of you probably know who C.S. Lewis is. He was a great Christian author, and he wrote the Chronicles of Narnia books. But he said this. He said, "Integrity is doing the right thing even when no one is watching." Integrity is doing the right thing even when no one is watching. And when you boil down the integrity of Noah and Enoch and Daniel and Job, they were willing to, and they did do the right thing even when no one was watching. But I'm perhaps maybe the best story that illustrates this is the story of Joseph. We know the story of Joseph, that he was the favorite son of Jacob. He was given a coat of many colors, and his brothers were jealous, and they sold him into slavery. From there, Joseph was shipped off to Egypt, and that was where Potiphar bought him as a slave. Now, Potiphar was a very important figure in Egypt. He was captain of Pharaoh's guard, and so he was a very prominent figure. And so Joseph was working for Potiphar, and Potiphar saw that Joseph was doing so well that he entrusted him with everything that he had. So Joseph was actually living a pretty good life until Potiphar's wife came along. We see in Genesis chapter 39, verse 7, that Potiphar's wife cast her eyes on Joseph, and she told Joseph, "Lie with me." So we see Potiphar's wife is seducing Joseph, and honestly, it looks like Joseph is in an ideal situation in the sense that if he wanted to act upon this, he could and probably get away with it. Obviously not get away with it in God's eyes, but in man's eyes. Because there was no one else around. Potiphar was probably off somewhere doing something, and Potiphar's wife was going to probably keep it a secret. So Joseph was in a situation where he could have taken advantage of this, but he didn't. He said to Potiphar's wife, he said, "No, Potiphar has entrusted me with so much. I can't do that." And so he said in verse 9, he said, "How can I do this great wickedness and sin against God?" So not only was he saying that this would be, betraying Potiphar, he also said, I would be sinning against God. I don't want to do that. And so we see that today is how we need to have integrity, is when we know that when no one is looking, and maybe we would get away with, compromising on our convictions, we still don't do it. Even though no one is looking, we still try to do the right thing, even though no one is around. And here's the thing. I've been talking about this. God will reward you for that. He certainly will. But before he does that, oftentimes maintaining integrity comes at a price. And again, the story of Joseph illustrates that better than any other story, because Potiphar's wife, as Joseph runs away from Potiphar's wife, because she did this on a daily basis, trying to seduce him. And so one day Joseph ran away, but as he ran away, Potiphar's wife grabbed his garment. And then she took that garment and went around and told people that Joseph tried to rape her. And unfortunately, Potiphar believed his wife. And so it says in verse 20 of Genesis 39 that Joseph's master, Potiphar, took him and put him into a prison in a place where the king's prisoners were bound, and he was there in prison. So here's Joseph. He didn't do anything wrong. He maintained his integrity, but that came at a cost. He ended up being thrown in prison. And so that's another thing I want you guys to remember. While the essential truth of integrity is that you're doing the right thing even when no one is around, you also have to understand another essential truth, and that's this, that maintaining that integrity almost always comes with a price. Sure, God will reward you down the road, but first, there's a price to be paid. So keep that in mind. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed tonight's live dive. I hope to see you all out on Saturday as we go to Sir Henry's Haunted Trail. But if you can't make it then maybe I'll see you on Sunday morning with the free donut in hand. So anyway, have a good night, guys. God bless.